The distance between the islands meant that the finches on different islands could not interbreed, so the populations on the different islands tended to become distinct. Different populations also became specialized for different food sources: birds with thin, sharp beaks eating insects and birds with large, sturdy beaks eating nuts. Charles Darwin went to the Galapagos Island and noticed differences in the finches. He studied 4 out of 15 finches. The finches went to different islands. With the different food sources, they evolved different beaks that were best for eating food on the island. They started out with the beaks good for seeds, then went off into leaves, insects, fruits, and grubs. All finches adapted to their island and brought up the reproduction rate since they weren't all fighting for the same food. The finches' beaks adapted to the food source, which was favored by natural selection. The successful finches that had the most useful beak for their island survived and therefore reproduced. This made them the more successful finches, which means their offspring would inherit the beak. Some of the finches were better able to survive because of their beak. For example, the sharp-beaked ground finch, also known as the vampire finch, would survive better than the mangrove finches on the Wolf Island. This is because on the Wolf Island, there are red-footed bogies and masked bogies, which the vampire finch uses its beak to feed from their blood. In essence, all of this boils down to the fact that adaptations to one particular environment represents trade-offs and constraints. The fitness of any phenotype depends on the prevailing environmental conditions in the organism's habitat. The characteristics that increase the fitness of an organism in one set of conditions may decrease its fitness in another set of conditions. Aside from that, the earlier example of Darwin's ground finches shows how natural selection operates at 3 levels: within a population, among subpopulation, and among different species. During the period of drought, in the island of Daphne Major, the mean beak size of the local population of medium ground finches increased in response to the shift in abundance and quality of seed resources. Natural selection has also resulted in different mean beak size between populations of the medium ground finch in the island of Daphne Major and Santa Cruz. The larger mean beak size for the population of medium ground finches on Santa Cruz is due to competition from the population of small ground finch present in that island. The presence of the smaller species makes smaller seeds less available and thus increases the fitness of medium ground finches with larger beaks. This influence also works the other way around, causing the population of small ground finch in Santa Cruz to have smaller mean beak size. The character displacement between the two species occurs, and the distribution of beak sizes for these specimens do not overlap. In contrast, on the islands of Daphne Major and Los Hermanos, the two species do not co-occur. Thus, the distribution for beak sizes for these two species in these islands is intermediate and overlapping.